I don't think. Do 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 do. Willow, weep for me. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deidre, where are you? Do 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 do. There she is.
Okay. Okay. I'm right next to the window, so if it's taking up too much, I can close it.
Okay,
Or
I'll leave that up to you. Is it noisy outside?
sometimes it's just fine. Maybe I'll do that. the lighting okay? I've been trying to play around.
Yeah, the lighting looks great. It's, beautiful.
Great. Thank you. I had to be in a different place this time, so I said, okay, I got to play around with it all over again.
Facebook wants to know what this particular episode will be about.
Oh, I caught myself sending. I don't know if it's sent to you. Hold on.
Oh, if you can copy it and paste it to me, I would like that.
I sure can. Can I put it in the chat?
Yeah, put it in the text messages that you send me, because I got that window open right now.
Okay. Okay, where did it go? Darn it. It was a long. I thought it sent. Did you see anything in your email?
Oh, email? Let me check.
Mm-hmm.
From you?
Because sometimes
No,
yeah.
no, I didn't. I know I didn't.
I'm always getting this error message in my email. It's really.
That would be good, though, if when you're sending out emails regarding the show, if you send a copy to me, so I know what's going to be on the upcoming show.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to give it to you all over again. Okay, where did you say put it? I can
You know
type
where
it.
we send our text messages and I give you the Zoom link in that area?
Oh, in the phone?
In the
Okay.
phone, yeah. If you have the ability to do that.
Okay.
If you don't have the ability to do that, I'll give you an email address to send it to.
No, I'm just going to text it to you.
Okay.
So tonight, I'm going to do it from a different email, so I'll make sure you get it.
All right.
Please click the motion Peace Center. Is it called a segment, or what is it called when you do like an
Episode.
episode? Like it was once a month. It's like a
Each week we do a new episode.
Okay, so this would be like a monthly episode.
Weekly.
Like when we want to do one.
Okay. So that I know what you're referring to. You would call that a segment.
It is a segment. Okay.
Yeah.
Introducing. What you think about the name Gather Around? Should we try something? Our new segment. Segment called Storytelling. Okay. Oh, this is so long to put in here. I don't have to condense. Gather. Will. story. Stories tonight. One from the book Jar by Nobel. Peace Prize. Laureate. Watt and Mayan. Is Ringoberta Menchu. Okay. Menchu doesn't have to be in caps. I was just trying to type fast.
There it is. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Menchu does have to be in caps.
Want me to change it?
Yeah, just to regular. It's her last name.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I made it so that just the first letter is capitalized.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Facebook is happy with that. So they're ready to start whenever you're ready to start.
Okay.
You ready to start?
Let's do it. So 8:30 is our cutoff.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a timer on your phone?
I can put one on.
Yeah. And just do a 60-minute timer counting backwards. And then you can periodically look at your phone and see how much time is left on the show, or if you want to end the show early.
Okay. 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 I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. So when I clap my hands, you'll be on the air, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Greetings. Welcome to Talking Peace. I am your Talking Peace with the Western New York Peace Center. I am your host, Deidre Email, Executive Director of the Western New York Peace Center. And I am so glad to be with you all today. So today we're going to take a different angle with our discussion. And we are going to introduce a new segment called Gather Round. It is a storytelling segment, and it's for all ages. And we want to discuss and tell stories about peace, about love, about character, diversity, culture, and so much more. So please stay tuned with us. If you have a story to tell, I want you to write into me at director@wnypeace.org. And I would love to hear your stories, and I would love to have you on the show. So today, I wanted us to discuss a few things. So our first story, or our stories, is going to come from a book called The Honey Jar by Ringoberta Menchu, which is one of the winners of the Nobel Peace Prize. So this is her storybook here. Okay. And she also wrote this with Dante Liano. And pictures are by Nomi. Okay. So what I really love about these stories are that they're ancient traditional stories, Guatemalan stories, Mayan stories, and I'm excited to read them and to share them with you. There are also stories that connect us with nature, connect us with each other, and I can't wait to read it with you. So let's begin. I wanted to share a little bit more about Ringoberta Menchu. And I'm going to try this out with sharing a YouTube story or the story from YouTube about her. It's a short 3-minute video, and I'm going to attempt to share my screen now. Please have patience with me. Here we go. Oh, Richard, can you enable me? Thank you.
You are now enabled.
Okay. So let's share now. This is the story of Rigoberta Menchu Tom. Enjoy.
Rigoberta Menchu, political activist. Born January 9th, 1959. Once, there was a girl who was told she didn't matter. She lived high in the mountains of Guatemala, but she and her family had to work down in the valleys picking coffee beans. The plantation owners worked them hard and beat them if they did not pick fast enough. The workers were treated like slaves and were paid hardly anything. "Your life is not worth a bag of beans," her bosses told her. "My name is Rigoberta," she replied, "and my life is worth just as much as yours." Rigoberta was proud of her people and her culture. The Mayans of Guatemala could trace their history back to ancient times. They had a rich and wonderful civilization. But they were forced into poverty, and they were beaten and even killed by soldiers if they dared protest. She started fighting for better conditions and equal rights for her people. She organized strikes and demonstrations. Although Rigoberta could not read or write, she spoke with such conviction that more and more people joined her cause. Many were taken away and killed, including Rigoberta's own parents and her brother. The government tried to silence her, and the landowners tried to break her, but no one could crush her fearless spirit. She insisted on telling her story, not because it was hers, but because it was the story of oppressed indigenous peoples everywhere. Rigoberta played a large part in ending the civil war in Guatemala. For this, and for her life's work campaigning for the rights of the poor, she was awarded a Nobel Peace Prize.
Thank you all for allowing me to share that with you. So I just thought it was a great introduction to Rigoberta's life and her mission. And she continues to work she continues to be an activist now in South America. So I want to start our story. So our first story is the story of the Hormingo tree. And if you're not familiar with the Hormingo tree, it comes from the rainforest of South America, Central and South America, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, El Salvador, places such as that. And so I want you to listen carefully and see what you gather from it as we gather around. So here I'll begin. The Hormingo tree woke up feeling sad. There was no reason for this. It was a splendid morning. The other trees woke up happily, with squirrels racing from one leaf-covered branch to another. The birds broke into song just before the sun rose. as if all days were holidays. The hormingo tree had nothing to be sad about, and yet it woke up feeling sad. The hormingo tree is a huge, sturdy tree with very green leaves and hardwood, the hardest of all the trees in the jungle. The woodpecker's strong beak, so expert at making holes in trees, simply bounces off the trunk of this tree. Maybe it's because there are no woodpeckers that the hormingo tree seems to be a home for other birds. All the jungle birds would fly to it, grackles and mockingbirds, buglers and motmots and sparrows. They would alight on the branches of the hormingo tree and sing their ancient music, as old as the world itself. And their music would enter the hormingo tree through its leaves, branches, and sap till it reached its very heart. And the more the birds sang, the more the hormingo tree filled up with music. And the moment came when the hormingo tree was so full of music that it felt it would burst. The hormingo tree wanted to sing, but it couldn't. It had no mouth like humans, no beak like birds. It realized that the whole universe sang. The sea roared when it was angry, its breakers crashing against the shore. Ravines answered with an echo whenever anyone called them. Streams said incomprehensible things as their water leaped from stone to stone. Caves in the hills ululated. The hormingo tree noticed that all the animals sang as well. Jaguars and howler monkeys roared. Coyotes and wolves howled. Other monkeys screamed. Every single animal sang as best as he could. The hormingo tree realized that the hearts of the heaven and the hearts of the earth had created a musical world. And it was the only one bursting with a desire to sing. That remained silent in the middle of the jungle. This was why the hormingo tree woke up feeling sad. It isn't enough that the wind whistles through your leaves, a squirrel asked. That's not good enough, he answered. I want the gift of music that animals and streams and rivers have. The hormingo tree knew that it was the fate of trees to be silent, but it wanted to sing and release from its heart all the trills the birds had sung throughout its life. The hormingo tree sighed. It was suffering from nostalgia, the illness of a dream, a desire, longing. The worst thing is that nostalgia is contagious. Soon the birds living in the hormingo tree branches stopped singing. They too were sad, and instead of singing, they breathed deeply, as if too were sad, and instead of singing, it breathed deeply as if about to swoon. And the birds from nearby trees were upset to discover that each time they wanted to trill or screech, only a deep sigh came out. It was as if they had lost their hearts in a ravine's darkest corner and had no strength to look for them. And the disease spread to all the birds, and from the birds to the other animals. Dogs stopped barking and looked about with their familiar sad gaze. Monkeys stopped crying and bent their heads, their stares lost on the horizon. Lions wouldn't even let out their tremendous yawns. And from the animals, the nostalgia illness spread to the streams, which stopped gurgling, and to the oceans, which remained calm, as if there was no wind. Even the wind stopped whistling. In time, the world now mute became deaf as well. And then the heart of heaven and the heart of earth heard the huge silence that stretched across the universe. What's happened? They asked. What's the silence all about? They asked the hills and the rivers, who replied, surely the wind has an answer. And they asked the wind, who answered them humbly, Father and mother, sadness is the reason why all the animals of the land, sea, and air are silent. It spread from one animal to the other until it reached the four corners of the universe. But the beginning of this tragedy is in the heart of the jungle, the sadness that attacked the hormingo tree. So the heart of heaven and the heart of earth visited the hormingo tree and asked what was wrong. Mother and father, the tree answered, I'm sorry to have infected the whole universe with my gloom. Over the years, I've been saturated with music, and I'm not satisfied with having only the whistling of the wind as it rustles my leaves. Mother and father, I want to sing. I need to release all the powerful music that lives inside me. The heart of the earth, Mother Nature, answered the hormingo tree. Don't be sad now. You should know that everything in life plays a role to ensure peace. You also know that each and everything has its own way of expressing what it feels to the rest of the world. The tree whistles with the help of the wind. In the same way, the caves ululate and the rivers and streams sing. And she went on speaking, and yet your sadness has affected us. And we will consult Grandfather Sun and Grandmother Moon. And tomorrow at daybreak, a beautiful feathered quetzal will land on your highest branch and whisper the message of our grandparents in your ear. So I wanted to take a moment and show you the beautiful drawing of Domi of our hormingo tree. Let's see if we have a clear picture here. Can you all see that? I know on the radio you can't see it, but the hormingo tree is a true living tree. And in this picture, there are birds and the squirrels and all the living animals that dwell in the tree and that enjoy being in the tree. A beautiful, colorful picture. So let's see what the grandparents had to say to the hormingo tree. Don't be sad, son of ours. We want to see you happy again, so that all the animals in the air and in the water and on the land will once more fill the four corners of the universe with sound. Then the hearts of heaven and the heart of earth left the hormingo tree. The following day, at the first gleam of light, a quetzal with glowing green feathers appeared. It lit on the highest branch of the hormingo tree. Grandmother Moon has spoken, the quetzal began. She sends you a shower of jade dust to wash away the sadness that has infected your roots, trunk, branches, and leaves. From now on, you will only spread happiness and the desire to live from the very heart of the jungle. Your seed will spread through the jungles, and thousands of hormingo trees will populate the earth. The quetzal took a deep breath and then continued. Grandmother Moon has decided that the fate of trees is to whistle in the wind, and that singing is not part of your nature. And yet, grandmother has been so moved by your sadness that she will give you the gift of music. She entrusts me to explain what will happen in the future. The men of corn will be created to populate the earth and honor the memory of their fathers and grandfathers. The men of corn will possess wisdom and will learn to make the earth produce. They will also cultivate the arts and sciences. Women and men will have the gift of music in their souls, given to them by their makers and creators. The Quetzal continued. The men of Cornwall discovered that the wood of the hormingo tree contains the spirit of all bird song. They will cut your wood into long and short slats. They'll call them keys. The keys will be tied together on top of a huge dry gourds. And when these keys are struck by a wooden mallet with a rubber ball at the end, the purest of sounds, the most pleasant music in the universe will be heard. It will fill the mountain air with the same peacefulness as the rain in the afternoons, or with the softest of streams flowing from the mountains, or with the squawking of birds in the early mornings. This instrument, made by men, will release the music in your heart and will be called the marimba. It will bring pleasure to the ears of the people during their festivals and dances, as well as during their periods of rest and reflection. Only in this way will the music you treasure will be released. And this is how the hormingo tree came to be used to make the marimba. From the time the men of corn were created, their spirits released the gifts of music that the makers and creators had given them. And they knew that deep inside the hormingo tree slept the music that would make their festivals happy and teach them to dance. This music would also accompany their sadness so that they would remember the time that the hormingo tree was affected with gloom. These are what his grandmother and grandfather told me, and I'm telling them to you exactly as they told them to me. They are old stories, as old as the world is old, and they should be heard at night, sitting around a fire, just before you shut your eyes and begin to dream. So this is the story of the marimba, the hormingo tree. And remember, our hormingo tree is in the South American and Central American rainforests, which are endangered right now. They are endangered of deforestation. The animals are endangered. Look up Ringoberta Menchu to learn more about her activism and to learn more about environmental sustainability. We must save, you might hear this all the time, save our rainforests, but this helps to clean our air. This helps our ozone layer. And it also helps us to have more connection with our earth. We're all interconnected. And we all have a piece of peace. So I hope you enjoyed that story. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in our Facebook box or send me an email, director@wnypeace.org. And I'll share them for our next go round when we have a gather round segment again. So this story, our next story, is from the same book, The Honey Jar. And this one is regarding our elders. And I wanted to end with this one because in the next hour in Talking Peace with the Interfaith Peace Network, we'll have a special guest named Cynthia Ellis, which is a Belizean. So she comes from the same place as the hormingo tree. And she's one of our elders, Gorifuna elders from Belize. And I am excited to hear her stories and to hear her about her journey and her activism in sustainability and continuing to keep the Gorifuna culture alive within the youth there. So stay tuned for our next hour. So this is our next story called Why the Elders Are the Four Corners of the Universe. Why the Elders Are the Four Corners of the Universe. Now I'm going to tell you what Aja, the heart of the earth, Mother Earth, the heart of heaven, Father Sky, did after giving each animal his mission. He called all the elders of the world together. Chuchuib, he called the female elders. Tataib, he called the male elders. Chuchuib and Tataib, all the names given to the grandmothers and grandfathers. The elders began arriving from the four corners of the universe, leaning on their pinewood canes, with their withered, wrinkled faces, their brown freckles and white hair, but with the nobility of ancient people. Chuchuib, he called the female elders. Tataib, he called the male elders. Grandmothers and grandfathers dragged themselves to him with their toothless mouths, with their eyes that seemed not to see, but saw all that is deep in our hearts. They had been walking the four paths of the earth for a long time. The red path, the white path, the yellow path, and the black path. The four magical paths of wisdom. That's why they couldn't see things far off, but only those close up with great depth. Chuchuib, called Aja, the heart of the earth. Tataib, called Aja, the heart of heaven. Here we are, said the elders from beneath the hats that protected them from the sun. We are also here to receive our mission. Then Aja spoke to them. Chuchuib, Tataib, you, the elders of great birth, of great reverence, will be the paths and guides to direct the future of creation. You will be the columns, the guardians of the spirits of the creator of the universe. This is why our elders deserve respect from all women and men, girls and boys. They are the paths, the guides, the columns of the spirit of the universe. They are the advice and the experience. Within them is the treasure of lives that have seen the passage of time in their heads and hearts. This is why you must always let them pass before you. You must give them the place of honor, and you must always bow your head in respect. We owe so much to our grandmothers and grandfathers. Chuchuib, Tataib, you are going to build cities all over the world. Each city will have its own songs, paintings, palaces and houses, temples and dances, prayers and pleasures, languages and books, poetry and music. And in each city, the natural world will be reflected in all these things. Chuchuib and Tataib, let each city be pleased with its own songs and dances, and let each also be happy with the songs and dances of others. The happiness of the world will sprout from these differences. Chuchuib, Tataib, our elder women and men, you will be given the power to talk to the wind, to the hills, to the roads. You will gain wisdom from talking to them, and you will pass it on to your daughters, sons and granddaughters, and grandsons, so that they will learn from nature how to live in peace, and with one another. They will know that the earth does not belong to them, but that they are part of it. The earth will be a sacred place, a place created for the dreams of all generations. Chuchuit, Tatait, thanks to your counsel, people will plant their dreams on the earth, and their dreams will blossom as if they were magical flowers. The elders were in awe as they listened to Aja speak. They took off their straw hats to show that they accepted the mission they had been given. They made a pact with the Creator, and this is how the natural laws of creation were established. To celebrate the occasion, Aja called lightning and thunder so that they could announce the great impact, the great pact. The earth lit up with the white light of lightning, and a split second later, the sky shook with the drum roll of thunder. Boom! Echoed, and back and forth between the clouds. Boom! 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 This was the sign that the pact between Aja and the elders had been made. So what did we learn from that story? That the elders not only show us the way and teach us about the past, but they are the way. They are like a deep well, and a man of wisdom will draw that wisdom out of them. So thank you all for joining me today for our segment called Gather Around. I would love to hear your stories and share your stories on the air with me. Maybe once or twice a month. We'll see if people like it. And we are going to get ready for Talking Peace with the Western New York Peace Center. So sorry about that. Talking Peace with the Western New York. I'm sorry. Talking Peace with the Interfaith Peace Network, and with their special guest, Cynthia Ellis, which I'm so excited about. And I want you to listen to this elder and receive wisdom and enjoy her stories and just, be filled with joy and peace and love. So until next time, peace and love. And until I see you again. Okay. Let's see. So I ended a little early. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to end the Zoom meeting now, okay? Okay. Okay, that worked out.